Please don't shoot him! No! The gunshot cracks through the air like thunder. Jihoon's small body jerks backward, eyes going wide with a shock, and then he's falling in slow motion, his blue dinosaur t-shirt blooming dark red across his chest. Maya's scream catches in her throat as the 7-year-old hits the marble floor with a sickening thud. Blood spreads beneath him in a growing pool. So much blood! Too much blood for such a small body. Her feet won't move. They're frozen to the ground, heavy as concrete, rooted in nightmare logic that says she can run but her legs refuse to obey. She tries to scream but no sound comes out. Jihoon's small hand reaches toward her, fingers grasping at air, his mouth forming words she can barely hear through the ringing in her ears. Mom, don't let me die. Please! Something breaks inside her. The paralysis shatters like glass and she's running, dropping to her knees beside him, hands pressing against the wound, but the blood just keeps coming, hot and sticky, covering her hands, her arms, soaking through her clothes. His eyes are losing focus, that bright, intelligent spark dimming like a candle in the wind. No, baby. Stay with me. Stay with me. She looks up. The shooter stands 10 feet away, silhouetted against harsh fluorescent light, faceless, nameless, raising his gun again for a second shot to finish the job. Rage explodes in Maya's chest like a second sun. She's not frozen anymore. She's fire and fury and every protective instinct evolution ever coded into the human species. Her eyes find the bar cart 3 feet away. Expensive crystal decanters filled with amber liquid. Park Min-ho's collection. Thousands of dollars worth of scotch and whiskey. She doesn't think. She moves, grabs the nearest bottle by the neck, heavy Waterford crystal, and hurls herself at the shooter with a roar that comes from somewhere primal and ancient. He pulls the trigger, but the gun jams. Click, click, click. Mechanical failure. 1 second of mercy. She swings the bottle with every ounce of strength in her body, and it connects with his skull with a wet crunch. Glass shatters, whiskey sprays. He staggers but doesn't fall, so she stabs him. The broken bottle becomes a weapon, jagged edges like teeth, and she drives it into his throat once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. She's lost count. Can't stop. Won't stop. Warm blood splashing across her face, mixing with Jihoon's blood already coating her hands. The man makes a gurgling sound and drops. She stabs him again. And again. And again. Even after he stops moving. Even after his eyes go blank and empty. Maya. Hands grab her shoulders, pulling her back, but she fights them, snarling like a wounded animal protecting her young. Maya. The voice cuts through the red haze. She blinks and suddenly everything shifts, the dream folding in on itself like burning paper. And she's gasping, sitting up in darkness, soaked in sweat, not blood, the sheets tangled around her legs like they're trying to trap her. Her hands are clean, no blood, no whiskey, no shattered crystal. The bedroom door slams open and light floods in from the hallway, making her flinch. Park Min-ho stands in the doorway wearing black silk pajama pants and nothing else, chest heaving like he's been running, hair disheveled from sleep. In his right hand, a matte black pistol pointed at the ceiling, finger alongside the trigger in professional ready position. Behind him, 2 of his security men in suits, weapons drawn, scanning the room for threats. What happened? His voice is sharp, controlled, but his dark eyes are wide with something that looks almost like fear. I heard screaming. Maya can't speak. Her throat is raw like she's been screaming for hours. Her whole body shakes, trembling so hard her teeth chatter. She looks down at her hands in the dim light, turning them over, examining her palms. Clean. No blood. But she can still feel it. Hot and sticky. Jihoon's life draining away beneath her fingers. Min-ho holsters the gun at the small of his back and crosses the room in 3 long strides. He sits on the edge of her bed, close but not touching. His presence solid and real in a way the nightmare wasn't. Breathe. You're safe. Jihoon is safe. It was a dream. He died. The words come out broken, barely a whisper. He got shot, and I couldn't... I couldn't stop the bleeding. There was so much blood, and he kept saying, "Don't let me die. Mom," her voice cracks completely. "But he didn't die. He's asleep in his room right now, safe, because of you." Minho's hand moves like he's going to touch her shoulder, then stops, hovering in the space between them like he's not sure he has permission. This is the third time this week. The nightmares are getting worse. Maya finally looks at him directly. Even disheveled from sleep with worry lines creasing his forehead, Park Minho is beautiful in that dangerous way that makes her chest tight. All sharp angles and controlled power. The kind of man who could kill someone and then pour himself a drink like it was nothing. She's seen him do exactly that. But right now, at 2 a.m, sitting on her bed with concern naked on his face, he looks almost human. I keep seeing him die. Different ways every time. Shot, stabbed, strangled, thrown from windows. My brain invents new horrors every night. She wipes her face with shaking hands. What if I can't protect him next time? What if I'm not fast enough, not strong enough, not... You took 3 bullets for him. You fought your way through a school under attack while bleeding. You've proven exactly how strong you are. Minho's voice drops lower, intimate in the darkness. But you can't keep going like this. You're running on fumes, Maya. When's the last time you slept through the night? I don't know. Before the school. Before everything. She pulls her knees up to her chest, wrapping her arms around them. Every time I close my eyes, I see him dying. And I can't lose him. I know he's not really mine. I know this whole thing is built on trauma and lies. But I love him. God help me. I love that little boy, like he came from my own body. The confession hangs in the air between them, dangerous and true. Minho is quiet for a long moment, his dark eyes studying her face like he's trying to read something written there. Finally, he speaks. Come with me. What? Where? Just trust me. He stands, offering his hand. When she hesitates, he adds, Please. Maya takes his hand. His palm is warm and calloused, the grip firm but careful, and he pulls her gently to her feet. She's wearing thin cotton shorts and a tank top, barely decent, but Minho doesn't look at anything except her face. He leads her out of the bedroom, his security men falling back to give them privacy, and down the hallway of the penthouse. They pass the kitchen where she fought 3 nights ago. Everything's been cleaned and repaired, no evidence of violence except the memories. They pass his office, the formal dining room, the empty guest suites. He stops at Jihoon's door, opens it slowly, quietly, so the hinges don't creak. The room is dark except for a nightlight shaped like a dinosaur casting soft blue-green shadows across the walls. And there, in the center of a bed, far too large for such a small boy, is Jihoon. Fast asleep on his back, one arm thrown over his head, the other clutching his battered Mr. Bear to his chest. His mouth is slightly open, breath coming slow and even, peaceful. Alive. Whole. Safe. Maya's knees almost buckle with relief. She grips the doorframe to steady herself, and Minho's hand moves to the small of her back, supporting her weight without a word. Watch, he whispers against her ear, so quiet she almost doesn't hear it. They stand there for 2 full minutes in silence, watching Jihoon's chest rise and fall, the steady rhythm of life. Maya feels her own breathing synchronize with his, feels the panic from the nightmare slowly drain away like poison being drawn from a wound. He's alive. He's safe. The dream was a lie. If you're already feeling this tension, hit that subscribe button because this story is about to get intense. Minho finally closes the door with a soft click and leads her back down the hallway. But instead of returning to her room, he takes her to the kitchen, flips on the soft under-cabinet lighting so the space glows warm and golden rather than harsh. He guides her to sit at the island while he moves to the stove with the easy confidence of someone comfortable in this space. What are you doing? She asks, her voice still rough from screaming in her sleep. Making you tea. My wife used to have nightmares after Jihoon was born. New mother anxiety, the doctor said. Convinced something would happen to him every time she closed her eyes. He fills a kettle with water, sets it on the burner, his back to her. She'd wake up screaming just like you did. So I'd bring her to his room to see he was fine, then make her chamomile tea with honey. It helped. Sometimes. It's the most he's ever talked about his dead wife. Maya watches him move through the kitchen, this powerful, dangerous man performing such a domestic act with careful precision. I'm sorry that you lost her, that Jihoon lost her. Me too. He pulls mugs from a cabinet, tea bags, honey. But lately I've been thinking, if she were here, she'd have died in that school attack. She would have been the one volunteering in the classroom that day, not you. She'd have thrown that bomb just like you did, taken those bullets. And she'd be dead. And Jihoon would be dead. And his hand still on the counter, shoulders tense. I'd have lost everything. But instead, you got stuck with me. Maya tries to make it light, but it comes out heavy. Minho turns to face her, and the look in his eyes steals her breath. Instead, some force of nature walked into my son's life and refused to let him die. Twice. You didn't get stuck with us, Maya. We got lucky with you. The kettle screams. He turns back to pour water, and the moment breaks, but the weight of those words hangs in the air between them like smoke. He brings her the mug, their fingers brushing as she takes it, that same electric shock that happens every time they touch. Drink, then try to sleep. I'll leave my door open. If the nightmares come back, I'll hear you. He starts to walk away. Minho? He stops, looks back. Thank you for this. For not making me feel crazy. Something shifts in his expression, softens. You're not crazy, you're traumatized. There's a difference. He pauses. Get some rest. Tomorrow is going to be a long day. Dr. Chen is coming for Jihoon's session, and she wants to see you too. He disappears down the hallway, and Maya is left alone with her tea and the ghost of his touch still warm on her hand. She doesn't sleep that night. Morning comes gray and cold, rain streaking the floor-to-ceiling windows of the penthouse like tears. Maya showers, dresses in simple jeans and a sweater, and finds Minho and Jihoon already at the breakfast table. The sight of them together makes her chest ache. Minho reading something on his tablet while Jihoon chatters about his dream, where he was a superhero who could fly. The little boy's small hand wrapped around his father's much larger one. Jihoon sees her and lights up. Mommy, I dreamed I could fly. Wanna see? He jumps from his chair and runs to her, arms spread wide like wings, making airplane noises. She catches him, lifts him up, and he wraps his arms and legs around her like a koala, burying his face in her neck. You smell like flowers. You always smell like flowers. And you smell like syrup. Did you eat all your pancakes or just the syrup? She carries him back to the table, exaggerating a stumble. Oh no, you're getting too heavy. Soon, I won't be able to carry you anymore. Yes, you will. You're the strongest mommy in the whole world. You can carry anything. His voice is muffled against her shoulder, complete faith in every word. Minho watches them with an expression Maya can't quite read. He's changed since last night. Back in his armor of expensive suit and slicked back hair, the dangerous Mafia boss instead of the concerned man making tea in silk pajama pants. But his eyes are soft when they land on his son, and something else when they shift to her. Something that makes her skin feel too tight. She sets Jihoon down in his chair and takes her own seat. Coffee is already poured, her favorite creamer sitting beside the cup. Minho remembers how she takes her coffee. The realization shouldn't feel as significant as it does. They eat in comfortable silence, broken only by Jihoon's endless chatter about his superhero dream and his plans to build a rocket ship out of cardboard boxes. Maya watches father. And son sees the love in every small interaction. Minho cutting Jihoon's pancakes into perfect bite-sized pieces. Jihoon stealing a piece of bacon from his father's plate and giggling when Minho pretends to be outraged. This is a family, broken and strange and built on violence and trauma, but a family nonetheless, and she's part of it now, for better or worse. The doorbell chimes at exactly 9 o'clock. Minho's head snaps up, instantly alert. He pulls his phone from his pocket, checks the security camera feed, and his shoulders relax fractionally. Dr. Chen, right on time. He looks at Jihoon. Ready to see Dr. Chen, buddy? Jihoon's excitement dims slightly. He doesn't hate Dr. Chen exactly, but therapy means talking about hard things, remembering scary things. He slides closer to Maya on his chair. Will you stay with me, Mommy? If Dr. Chen says it's okay, then yes. Maya smooths his hair back from his forehead. But you're so brave, you can do this. One of Minho's men, escorts Dr. Chen into the dining room. She's exactly as Maya remembers from their previous sessions. Middle-aged Korean-American woman with kind eyes behind stylish glasses, professional clothes, leather portfolio tucked under her arm, warm smile that seems genuine. She greets Jihoon first, crouching to his level. Good morning, Jihoon. Did you have good dreams last night? I dreamed I could fly, like Superman, he demonstrates with his arms, nearly knocking over his juice. That sounds wonderful. Flying dreams are very good dreams. Dr. Chen straightens, nods to Minho and Maya. Good morning. Thank you for having me. Her eyes linger on Maya for a beat longer than necessary, assessing. Maya, I was hoping to speak with you as well today. Your nightmares, your integration into the family dynamic, these are important factors in Jihoon's recovery. Of course, Maya says, though something about the way Dr. Chen looks at her raises goosebumps on her arms. Probably just exhaustion, making her paranoid. They move to Jihoon's playroom, a space Minho had professionally designed with every therapeutic toy and tool Dr. Chen requested. Soft mats on the floor, bins of art supplies, shelves of books, a small table, and chairs in primary colors. Jihoon immediately goes to his favorite spot and starts pulling out action figures. Dr. Chen settles into one of the small chairs with practiced ease despite her adult size. She pulls out a notebook and pen, then smiles at Jihoon. What do you want to play with today? Superheroes. I'm gonna make them save the city. He lines up figures. Iron Man, Spider-Man, a random dinosaur that doesn't belong in the Marvel universe, but Jihoon doesn't care. That sounds exciting. Who are they saving the city from? Bad guys who want to hurt kids. Jihoon's voice goes quieter. But the superheroes stop them. Every time, they're really strong and brave and they never let the bad guys win. Maya and Minho watch from the doorway, giving space but staying close. Minho's hand hovers near the small of Maya's back, not quite touching but close enough she can feel the heat of it through her sweater. She's hyper-aware of him, his breathing, his presence, the subtle tension in his frame that says he's always ready for threats, even in his own home. Dr. Chen guides Jihoon through his play with expert questions, drawing out his feelings about the attack, about his fears, about his sense of safety now. He talks about the explosion, about being scared, about Maya protecting him. He doesn't mention his biological mother once. When Dr. Chen gently brings up a photo of her, showing it to Jihoon, he looks at it for a long moment. That's my first mommy, he says matter-of-factly. She's in heaven. This is my second mommy. He points at Maya in the doorway. She saved me from the bad guys. So she's my mommy now. Dr. Chen makes notes, her expression neutral professional. And how does having a second mommy make you feel? Safe. She makes me feel safe. And she smells like flowers and reads me stories and doesn't leave me alone when I'm scared. Jihoon hugs his Iron Man figure to his chest. I don't want her to go away. What if she had to go away, back to her own home? Jihoon's face crumples immediately. No, she can't leave. What if the bad guys come back? What if they try to hurt me again and she's not here? His breathing picks up, panic creeping into his voice. She has to stay. She has to. Maya moves on instinct, crossing the room and kneeling beside him. Hey, it's okay. I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here, see? She takes his small hands in hers. Dr. Chen is just asking questions. That's her job. But I'm here now and I'm safe and you're safe. He launches himself into her arms, clinging tight. Promise you won't leave me. Maya's eyes meet Minho's across the room. He's watching them with that unreadable expression again, jaw tight. She looks at Dr. Chen, who's taking Notes with clinical detachment, and something cold slides down Maya's spine. But Jihoon is shaking in her arms, so she pushes the feeling aside. I promise I'm not going anywhere today. Okay? Right now I'm here. Right now we're safe. She doesn't make promises she can't keep about forever, but she can promise today. It's enough. Jihoon's breathing slows. His death grip on her loosens slightly. After a few minutes, Dr. Chen manages to redirect him back to playing with his superheroes, and Maya returns to the doorway. The session continues for another 30 minutes. When it's done, Dr. Chen asks to speak with Maya and Minho privately. They leave Jihoon with one of the guards in the playroom and move to Minho's office, all dark wood and leather, and floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Rain continues to streak the glass, turning the skyline hazy and gray. Dr. Chen settles into one of the leather chairs across from Minho's massive desk. Maya and Minho take the other two, forming a triangle. The therapist crosses her legs, opens her portfolio, and gets straight to business. His attachment to you is not decreasing. If anything, it's intensifying. She looks at Maya directly. He's not just calling you mom as a trauma response anymore. He's integrated you as his mother in his psychological framework. Attempting to separate you now would be equivalent to taking a toddler from their primary caregiver. The damage would be catastrophic. So what do we do? Maya asks, though she already knows the answer. You continue as you have been. Maintain stability, routine, affection. Let him keep this bond while gently reintroducing reality at his pace, not ours. Dr. Chen glances at her notes. But there's a complication. Maya, your nightmares and hypervigilance suggest PTSD. You're experiencing secondary trauma on top of your own. If you continue to deteriorate mentally, you won't be able to provide the stability Jihoon needs. I'm fine, Maya says, automatically. You're not. Dr. Chen's voice is kind but firm. You're running on adrenaline and maternal instinct. Eventually, you'll crash. And when you do, Jihoon will feel it. Children are incredibly perceptive to their caregiver's emotional state. Minho leans forward, elbows on his knees. What does she need? Therapy of her own, medication possibly, to help with sleep and anxiety. But most importantly, Dr. Chen looks between them. She needs to feel genuinely safe, not just physically protected, but emotionally secure in her position here. She needs to know she's not a temporary solution or a prisoner doing a job. She needs to belong. The words hit Maya like a punch to the chest. Dr. Chen is right. She goes to sleep every night, knowing Minho could change his mind, could decide she's not needed, could send her away. The uncertainty is eating her alive. I've been thinking about that, Minho says slowly. He pulls a folder from his desk drawer and slides it across to you, Maya. I had my lawyers draw up papers, custody agreement. It makes you Jihoon's legal guardian, equal to me in every way. Medical decisions, education, everything. You'd have legal rights to him that no one could take away. Maya stares at the folder like it might explode. You want to give me legal custody of your son? I want to make you family. Officially. Not just in Jihoon's mind, but in the eyes of the law. Minho's dark eyes are intense on hers. You've proven you'd die for him. This makes it permanent. This makes you untouchable. Her hands shake as she opens the folder. Legal documents in dense text, but the summary is clear. Joint custody. Equal parental rights. Her name, alongside Park Minho's as Jihoon's legal guardians. It's insane. It's impossible. It's everything she didn't know she wanted. Why? Her voice comes out barely a whisper. Why would you do this? Because Minho stops, jaw working like he's chewing on words he doesn't want to say. Finally, because you're already his mother, this just makes it real. Dr. Chen closes her portfolio, a small, satisfied smile on her face. I think this is an excellent solution. Maya, if you agree to this, I'd suggest we also set up regular therapy sessions for you. Work through your trauma so you can be fully present for Jihoon without the nightmares consuming you. Maya can't speak. She looks at the papers, at Minho's carefully neutral expression, that doesn't quite hide the hope underneath and feels like she's standing on the edge of a cliff. Jump, and everything changes. Walk away and what? Go back to her tiny apartment, her classroom of 23 students, her normal life? Except she can't. That life doesn't exist anymore. The second she threw that bomb out the window, the second she took those bullets, the second Jihoon called her mom, everything changed. There's no going back. There's only forward into this strange new reality. I need time to think, she manages. Take all the time you need. Minho stands, signaling the meeting is over. Dr. Chen, thank you. Same time next week? Actually, I'd like to come twice this week if possible. Wednesday and Friday. Jihoon is at a critical stage, and more frequent sessions would benefit him. Dr. Chen gathers her things. Maya, please think about what I said. You can't pour from an empty cup. She leaves, escorted out by security, and then it's just Maya and Minho in the vast office. Rain drums against the windows. The city below is a blur of gray and concrete, and a million lives that have nothing to do with hers. You don't have to decide now, Minho says quietly. I know it's a lot. It's insane. You're asking me to become the legal mother of a child I met 3 weeks ago. Maya stands, needing to move, and walks to the windows, presses her palm against the cool glass. What if I'm not good enough? What if I fail him? What if... You won't. Minho moves up behind her, close enough she can feel his body. Heat, but not touching. You've already proven you won't. I'm terrified, she admits, voice cracking. Every night, I see him die. I see myself failing to save him. And now you want to make it legal? Make it permanent? What if I can't protect him? What if next time I'm not fast enough, not strong enough? Then I'll be there. His hand finally makes contact, resting on her shoulder, warm and solid. You're not alone in this, Maya. You never were. She turns to face him, and the space between them is almost nothing. She can see the silver scar above his left eyebrow, the slight stubble along his jaw, the intensity in his dark eyes that makes her feel like she's the only thing in the world that matters right now. Her heart pounds against her ribs. What are we doing? She whispers. This thing between us, whatever it is, I don't know. His hand moves from her shoulder to cup her face, thumb brushing her cheekbone. But I know that when I heard you screaming last night, I ran faster than I've ever run in my life. I know that watching you with my son makes me feel things I swore I'd never feel again. I know that if anything happened to you, The office door bursts open. One of Minho's security men, face pale, weapon drawn. Sir, we have a situation. The security system just went down. All of it. Cameras, alarms, door locks, everything. Minho's entire demeanor changes in a heartbeat. The man touching her gently becomes the cold, deadly Mafia boss. He pulls his gun from the holster at his back, checking the magazine in one smooth motion. Maya, stay behind me. Get to Jihoon, now. They move fast. Maya's heart slams against her ribs as they run through the penthouse toward the playroom. Her mind flashes to the nightmare, to Jihoon dying while she watches, and she pushes her legs faster. The guard who was with Jihoon meets them in the hallway. Jihoon in his arms, Mr. Bear clutched against the boy's chest. Mommy! Jihoon reaches for her, and she takes him from the guard, clutching him tight against her chest. I've got you, baby. I've got you. She presses her face into his hair, breathing him in. Alive. Safe. For now. Minho barks orders into his phone in rapid Korean, his men moving into defensive positions throughout the penthouse. Maya's mind races. The safe room. Can she trust it? Her instincts scream no. Too obvious. Too expected. Her eyes land on the master bedroom. Minho's room. It has a secondary door that leads to a private elevator. Emergency exit. Minho, she says, voice steady despite the terror coursing through her veins. Your bedroom. We can get to the private elevator. He looks at her, makes a split-second decision, and nods. Go. I'll cover you. They move as a unit. Minho in front with his weapon raised, Maya in the middle with Jihoon, guards behind them. Every shadow looks like a threat. Every sound makes her flinch. Jihoon is eerily quiet in her arms, his small body tense, face buried in her neck. He knows something's wrong. He's 7, but he's been through enough to recognize danger. They're halfway to the bedroom when the windows explode. Glass shatters inward in a deadly rain, not from impact but from controlled detonation. Small charges placed on the outside of the building, meant to breach without destroying the entire wall. Maya throws herself forward, covering Jihoon's body with her own, feeling glass slice across her back and shoulders. Her left shoulder screams in protest, the bullet wound from 3 weeks ago not fully healed, but she ignores it. Pain blooms hot and sharp, but she doesn't stop moving. Men rappel through the shattered windows on ropes, 3 of them, dressed in black tactical gear, faces covered, weapons raised. Minho fires first, dropping one before his boots hit the floor. The other 2 scatter, using furniture for cover, returning fire. The penthouse erupts into chaos. Gunshots deafeningly loud in the enclosed space, men shouting, more of Minho's, guards appearing from different rooms to engage. Maya runs. She runs for the bedroom with everything she has, Jihoon's weight almost nothing fueled by pure adrenaline and terror. Her thigh wound threatens to tear open, blood seeping through her jeans, but she doesn't stop. She hits the bedroom door with her shoulder, slams it shut behind her, and drags a heavy dresser in front of it with a strength she didn't know she possessed. Her back screams where glass cut her, blood soaking through her sweater, but she ignores it. Jihoon, listen to me. She sets him down, kneeling so they're eye level. His face is pale, eyes huge, but he's not crying. Brave boy. We're going to go down the elevator, okay? Just like a ride. Can you be very quiet and very brave? Where's Daddy? His voice trembles. Daddy's keeping the bad guys away from us. He'll meet us soon. She hopes it's true. She prays it's true. She takes his hand and pulls him toward the door that leads to the private elevator, a luxury feature Minho had installed when he bought the penthouse, an escape route hidden behind a bookshelf in his bedroom. She's reaching for the hidden latch when she hears it. Footsteps in the hallway, slow, methodical, not running. Someone is coming for them, and they're taking their time because they know their prey is trapped. Maya's mind races. The dresser will slow them down, but not stop them. The elevator takes 45 seconds to arrive. Too long. She needs another option. Her eyes land on Minho's bedside table. She yanks the drawer open and there it is. A backup gun, matte black, compact. She grabbed that attacker's weapon 3 nights ago during the last invasion and fired it. But her hands are still shaking as badly now as they were then. Her hands are shaking so badly she almost drops it. Behind her, Jihoon whimpers softly. She forces her hand steady. The door handle turns. Locked. Then there's a bang as someone kicks it. The dresser slides an inch. Another kick. Another inch. They're coming in, and she's out of time. Maya presses the hidden latch. The bookshelf clicks and swings open, revealing the small elevator beyond. Jihoon, inside, now, get in the corner and don't move. But Mommy, now. He scrambles into the elevator, Mr. Bear clutched tight and curls into the corner, making himself as small as possible. The bedroom door crashes open, dresser toppling to the side. A man steps through, tactical gear, rifle raised, and his eyes land on Maya standing in front of the open elevator, gun pointed directly at him with both hands, stance wide, just like she's seen on TV. For a frozen moment, they stare at each other. She can see his eyes through the balaclava, cold, professional, assessing. He sees a woman in casual clothes, bleeding, terrified, protecting a child. He thinks she won't shoot. She sees it in his eyes. He's wrong. Maya pulls the trigger. The gun kicks hard, the shot going wild, missing him by a foot, but it makes him dive for cover, and that's all she needs. She hits the elevator button with her elbow, steps backward into the car, and slams her palm on the closed door button. The doors start to slide shut. The man recovers, aims his rifle, and fires. Bullets punch through the closing doors, sparking off metal. Maya feels one graze her left arm, burning hot, and she screams but stays on her feet. The doors close with a final clang. The elevator lurches downward. Jihoon is sobbing now, hands over his ears, and Maya drops to her knees beside him, pulling him into her arms. Blood drips from her arm onto his shirt, mixing with the blood already there from her back. But she's alive, and he's alive, and that's all that matters. It's okay, baby. We're okay. We're safe. We're going down. We're getting out. She rocks him, her own tears finally falling, mixing with his. The elevator descends 40 floors in what feels like an eternity and an instant all at once. It opens into a private parking garage, and Maya staggers out with Jihoon in her arms. She doesn't know where to go. The garage is empty of people, but full of expensive cars. Minho's collection: Lamborghinis, Ferraris, a Bentley. She tries one door, locked. Another, locked. All of them locked. Behind them, she hears the elevator engage. Going back up. Someone called it. They're coming, panic claws at her throat. She's wounded, exhausted, and out of options. She can't run fast enough with Jihoon, can't fight with one barely functional arm. They're trapped in this concrete tomb waiting for... A black SUV screeches around the corner, tires squealing. Maya raises the gun with her good arm, stepping in front of Jihoon, ready to fight until her last breath. The SUV skids to a stop 10 feet away. The driver's door flies open. Park Minho emerges, face bloody from a cut on his forehead, suit jacket gone, shirt sleeves rolled up, gun in one hand. His eyes find her, and something like relief flashes across his face before it hardens. Again. Get in. Now. She doesn't hesitate, doesn't question. She runs to the SUV, wrenches open the back door, shoves Jihoon inside, and climbs in after him. Minho is back in the driver's seat before her doors even closed, and he floors it. The SUV rockets forward, engine roaring, tires screaming against concrete as they spiral down the parking garage ramps at a speed that would be suicide if he wasn't the best driver Maya's ever seen. They burst out of the garage into daylight, into rain and traffic and normalcy. Minho weaves through cars like they're standing still, one hand on the wheel, the other holding his phone to his ear, barking orders in Korean. Maya can't understand most of it, but she catches safe house, medical, and a name that sounds like Choi. In the back seat, she holds Jihoon against her chest, feeling his heartbeat rabbit fast, feeling her own injuries pulse with pain and rhythm with her racing heart. She's bleeding on Minho's expensive leather seats. She can't bring herself to care. Are you hit? Minho's voice harsh with adrenaline, his eyes finding hers in the rearview mirror. Grazed. I'm fine. Is it over? For now. His jaws tight, hands white-knuckled on the steering wheel. They're dead. All of them. But whoever sent them knew our security protocols, knew exactly when to hit. We have a leak. The implications hang heavy in the air. Someone on the inside, someone close, someone they trust, betrayed them. Drop a comment and tell me who you think the traitor is. And if this story has you hooked, hit that like button. They drive for 20 minutes in tense silence, taking a route that doubles back on itself multiple times, making sure they're not followed. Maya watches the city blur past, holding Jihoon, and realizes with crystalline clarity that this is her life now. Not the teaching, not the classroom, not the small apartment and coffee dates with Akeisha. This is her life, running from people who want to kill a child, bleeding in the back of an SUV, bonded to a man she barely knows, and his son who calls her mom. And the terrifying thing? She doesn't want anything else. Even knowing the cost, even knowing the danger, she would choose this. She would choose them. The safe house is a nondescript townhouse in a quiet suburban neighborhood, the kind of place no one would look twice at. Minho pulls into the garage, closes the door behind them, and only then does he relax slightly. He turns in his seat to look at them. Let me see your wounds. I'm fine, Maya says automatically. You're bleeding through your sweater. Let me see. Not a request, an order. She peels Ji-hoon off her carefully. Baby, can you sit here for just 1 minute while I talk to Daddy? I promise I'm not going anywhere. I'll be right there. She points to the front passenger seat. Ji-hoon nods, still pale but calmer now that they've stopped moving. He clutches Mr. Bear and watches her with huge eyes. Maya climbs out of the SUV, and the world tilts sickeningly. She catches herself on the door, and then Minho is there, arm around her waist, supporting her weight. He guides her to lean against the side of the vehicle and carefully lifts the back of her sweater. She hears his sharp intake of breath. Glass. Multiple pieces. Some are deep. His fingers are gentle as he examines her back. And your arm, that needs stitches. Jesus, Maya, why didn't you say something? Because we were busy running for our lives? She tries to make it light, but her voice shakes. The adrenaline is wearing off, and in its place comes pain. So much pain. Is it bad? You need a doctor, now. He pulls his phone out, makes a call, more Korean, too rapid for her to follow. He hangs up. My personal physician is on his way. He'll be here in 15 minutes. His hands hover near her shoulders, like he wants to touch her, but is afraid to hurt her. You saved him again. You got him out. We got him out. Maya meets his eyes. You came for us. Always. The word is fierce, almost a vow. I will always come for you, both of you. The moment stretches between them, heavy with things unsaid. Then Ji-hoon's small voice breaks it. Mommy? Daddy? Are we safe now? They both turn to look at him through the SUV window. This small boy who's been through more trauma than any child should endure, who's lost so much, who's somehow still brave enough to keep going. Yeah, buddy, Minho says softly. We're safe now. But they all know it's a lie. They'll never truly be safe, not in this life Minho has built. There will always be another threat, another enemy, another attack. This is the price of the world he lives in, and by extension, the world Maya has chosen to enter. The doctor arrives exactly 15 minutes later, an older Korean man carrying a medical bag, asking no questions about the blood or the circumstances. He works on Maya in the living room, while Minho stays with Ji-hoon in the kitchen, keeping the boy distracted with coloring books and snacks from the safe house pantry. Maya grits her teeth through the worst of it, glass being removed with tweezers, wounds being cleaned, stitches going in without anesthetic because the doctor doesn't have it here and they can't risk going to a hospital. She bites down on a leather belt, tears streaming down her face, and thinks about every choice that led her to this moment. Throwing the bomb, taking the bullets, staying when she could have left, falling in love with a child who isn't hers, falling for a man who's dangerous and damaged and might get her killed. She'd make every choice again. When the doctor finishes and leaves with a thick envelope of cash, Minho carries Ji-hoon to one of the bedrooms and tucks him into bed. The boy is exhausted, crashing from the adrenaline, and he's asleep within minutes, Mr. Bear clutched in his arms. Minho stands in the doorway watching him for a long moment before he closes the door softly and returns to the living room where Maya sits stiffly on the couch, bandaged and aching. He pours them both whiskey. Expensive stuff, probably, though Maya can't tell the difference. She takes the glass and drains it in one burning gulp. He refills it without comment. We need to talk about what happens next, he says, settling into the chair across from her. He looks exhausted, the cut on his forehead cleaned but still angry and red, dried blood at his temple, his expensive shirt torn and dirty. Someone inside my organization gave those men our security codes, our schedule, everything, someone I trust. Do you know who? I have suspicions, but I need proof. His jaw tightens. Until I find the leak and deal with it, we're not safe. Any of us. So what do? Hide here forever? Maya gestures at the safe house. No. We can't live in fear, waiting for the next attack. He leans forward, elbows on his knees. I'm going to end this. going to draw out whoever's betraying me and eliminate them. But while I do that, I need you and Jihoon somewhere they can't reach you. Something cold drops into Maya's stomach. You're sending us away. I'm sending you somewhere safe while I clean up this mess. There's a property I own in the mountains, 3 hours from the city. Remote, secure. Only 3 people know it exists. You and Jihoon will stay there with a security detail. When it's done, when the threat is neutralized, you come home. Home. He called it home. How long? A week, maybe 2. Minho's eyes are intense on hers. I know it's not ideal. I know you probably hate this plan. But I can't... His voice cracks slightly. I can't protect you both if I'm trying to hunt traitors. I need to know you're safe so I can do what needs to be done. Maya understands what he's not saying. He needs to do violent, brutal things to find the leak and eliminate it. Things that can't happen around a 7-year-old child. Things that might get them killed if they're nearby when he strikes. Okay, she says quietly. We'll go. Just like that? No argument. Would it change your mind? No. Then why waste breath arguing? She sets her glass down carefully, every movement hurting. You're right. We're vulnerable while you're focused on us, so we remove ourselves from the equation. You do what you need to do. We stay alive, and then... She trails off. And then, he prompts, and then we come home. She meets his eyes. And I signed those custody papers. The ones sitting in your office that we had to leave behind. When we go home, first thing I do is sign them. I'm done running from this. I'm done pretending this is temporary. If I'm going to be his mother, I'm going to be his mother, legally, permanently, no more halfway. Something raw and powerful flashes across Minho's face. He stands, crosses to the couch, and kneels in front of her. Takes her hands in his, careful of her wounds. You mean that? I've never meant anything more. Her voice is steady despite the fear, despite the pain, despite everything. I love him. I love your son like he's mine. And I... She stops. The next word's too big, too dangerous. Say it. His hands tighten on hers. Maya, say it. I'm falling for you too. The admission feels like jumping off a cliff. This dangerous, impossible man who makes me feel things I've never felt. Who looks at me like I matter, like I'm not just the convenient solution to your son's trauma. I don't know when it happened or how, but it did, and I'm done fighting it. Minho makes a sound low in his throat, something between a growl and a groan, and then his mouth is on hers. The kiss is desperate, hungry, months of tension finally breaking free. His hands cup her face, gentle despite the intensity, mindful of her injuries. She kisses him back with everything she has, all her fear and fury and love and need poured into this moment. When they finally break apart, both breathing hard, he rests his forehead against hers. When this is over, he says, voice rough, when it's safe, we're going to figure out what this is, what we are. What do you think we are? Family, simple, absolute. You, me, and Jihoon, family. It's the most beautiful thing anyone's ever said to her. They stay like that for a long moment, breathing the same air, existing in the small bubble of safety they've created in this borrowed house. Eventually, practical concerns intrude. They need to rest. They need to pack what little supplies are here. They need to leave before dawn for the mountain property. Maya checks on Jihoon, still sleeping, peaceful, safe. She climbs carefully into the bed beside him, and he automatically curls into her side, seeking warmth and comfort even in sleep. She wraps her arms around him, pressing her face into his hair, and lets herself feel the enormity of what she's chosen. This boy is hers now. Not by biology, not by law yet, but by choice, and blood, and love. She's his second mother, his chosen mother, and she will burn the world down before she lets anyone hurt him again. In the other room, she can hear Minho on the phone, his voice a low rumble in Korean. Planning, strategizing, preparing for war. because that's what this is. A war for his family, for their safety, for their right to exist without constantly looking over their shoulders. If you're still watching, subscribe now because part 3 is going to blow your mind. The final battle is coming. Maya doesn't sleep that night. She lies awake holding Jihoon, listening to Minho move through the house, feeling her wounds pulse with pain, and thinks about the path ahead. They're going to the mountains. Minho is going to hunt whoever betrayed them. And when they come home, if they come home, everything will be different. But one thing won't change. She's Jihoon's mother now. She's part of this family. And nothing, not danger, not violence, not the whole world, will take that from her. Dawn comes, gray and cold. Minho wakes them at 5 and they pack into a different SUV, this one older, less flashy, harder to trace. Jihoon is quiet and clingy, sensing the tension in the adults. Maya holds him in the back seat, watching the city disappear behind them as they drive toward the mountains, toward safety, toward whatever comes next. Halfway there, Minho's phone rings. He answers, listens, and his face goes stone cold. He hangs up and meets Maya's eyes in the rearview mirror. They found the leak, he says quietly, voice deadly. It was Dr. Chen. The words hit Maya like a physical blow. Dr. Chen, the woman who'd been treating Jihoon, who'd been in their home, who'd had access to their schedules and security protocols. The woman who'd seemed so kind, so professional, so trustworthy. How? Maya's voice is barely a whisper. She had gambling debts. Choi paid them off in exchange for information. She's been feeding him our movements since the second session. Almost 3 weeks. Of intel. Minho's hands are white-knuckled on the steering wheel. She told them exactly when I'd be in meetings. His jaw works. She had a session scheduled with Jihoon today. If we'd stayed at the penthouse? He doesn't finish. He doesn't have to. If they'd stayed, Dr. Chen would have had access to Jihoon. Alone for an hour. The possibilities are too horrifying to contemplate. Where is she now? Maya asks, though she already knows the answer. My men have her. Minho's voice is flat, emotionless, the voice of a man who's about to do terrible things. I'll deal with her when I get back to the city. Deal with her. Maya knows what that means. Dr. Chen is a dead woman walking. And the terrifying thing is that Maya doesn't feel sorry for her. This woman betrayed them, put Jihoon in danger, tried to get him killed for money. Whatever Minho does to her, she deserves it. Is this who Maya is now? Someone who can think about a woman's death and feel nothing but cold. Satisfaction? The teacher who read stories about talking animals and helped kids learn to spell because feels like a different person from a different life. That Maya wouldn't recognize this Maya. This woman with stitches in her back and a gun tucked in the waistband of her jeans, holding a child she's killed to protect. But she wouldn't go back. Not for anything. They drive the rest of the way in silence. The mountain property appears through the trees. A modern cabin, all glass and wood and clean lines, isolated and beautiful. Minho pulls up to the front, and 2 men emerge from inside. His security detail, presumably. He gives them rapid instructions in Korean while Maya climbs out with Jihoon. The boy finally speaks for the first time since waking up. Is this where we're staying? For a little while, yeah. Maya smooths his hair back. It's like a vacation. There are trees and mountains and probably animals. We can explore. Is Daddy staying too? Maya's heart clenches. She looks at Minho, who's finished with the security men and is walking toward them. He kneels down so he's at Jihoon's eye level. I have to go back to the city for work, buddy, but Mommy's going to stay with you, and these nice men are going to keep you safe, and I'll be back very soon. How soon? A week, maybe a little more. Minho pulls his son into a hug, fierce and desperate. I need you to be very brave, okay? Can you be brave for me? Jihoon nods against his father's shoulder, and Maya sees tears sliding down the boy's cheeks. He's trying so hard to be strong. Too hard. He's 7. He shouldn't have to be this strong. Minho kisses the top of Jihoon's head, then stands and looks at Maya. There's so much in his eyes: fear, determination, love, regret. He wants to stay. She knows he wants to stay. But he can't, not until this is finished. Keep him safe, Minho says quietly. With my life. She means it. He kisses her then, right there in front of his men and his son, a kiss that tastes like goodbye and promise all at once. When he pulls back, his hand cups her cheek. Don't do anything stupid. Don't be a hero. Just stay alive until I get back. Same to you. He climbs back in the SUV and drives away, and Maya watches until the vehicle disappears around a curve in the road. Then she turns to the cabin, to the security men, to Jihoon, and squares her shoulders. A week? Maybe 2. Then Minho will come back. He'll have dealt with the threats, eliminated the traitors, made them safe, and then they can start building something real. Not a trauma response, not a temporary solution, but an actual family. She picks up Jihoon and carries him inside. The cabin is beautiful. Open floor plan, huge windows overlooking the mountains, kitchen stocked with supplies, bedrooms upstairs. One of the security men explains that they'll do perimeter checks every hour. They have surveillance cameras hidden throughout the property. And if anything happens, there's a panic room in the basement. Maya nods along, taking it all in, and tries not to think about all the ways this could go wrong. That night, after Jihoon is asleep in the master bedroom upstairs, Maya stands at the floor-to-ceiling windows, watching the sun set over the mountains. The sky bleeds orange and purple and red, beautiful and violent. She thinks about Minho back in the city, hunting Dr. Chen, hunting whoever else betrayed them. She thinks about the custody papers sitting unsigned in his penthouse office. She thinks about the gun she's carrying now, tucked at the small of her back, and how easily it fits there. She thinks about the woman she used to be, the teacher, the friend, the normal person living a normal life. And she tries to mourn her, but she can't. Because that woman wouldn't have saved Jihoon. That woman wouldn't have killed to protect him. That woman wouldn't have earned his love and his father's respect. This woman, the one with scars and blood on her hands and a child upstairs who calls her Mom, this woman is someone Maya recognizes. Someone she can be proud of. Someone strong and fierce and unbreakable. The sun finishes setting and darkness falls over the mountains. Maya closes the curtains and goes upstairs to sleep beside Jihoon, one hand on the gun even in sleep, ready for whatever comes next. Because this isn't over, not by a long shot. Dr. Chen might be caught, but there are more enemies out there, more people who want to hurt this family, and Maya will fight every single one of them. She's not a teacher anymore. She's a mother. She's a warrior. She's family. And she's not going anywhere. What do you think happens when Minho comes back? Drop your predictions in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for part 3. Trust me, you won't want to miss the explosive finale. Hit that subscribe button now.